When you're looking at power sanders, there are a couple reasons to consider a vibrating finishing sander. If you're a beginning DIYer, they're easy to handle. And if you already have a belt sander or a random orbital sander, well, a vibrating finishing sander can be a great addition to your toolkit. It's a light-duty sander that's distinguishable by the square-shaped sanding pad. They're sometimes called quarter-sheet sanders because they take 1/4 of a standard sheet of sandpaper. One-handed models are sometimes called palm sanders. The sanding sheet clamps in. The pad vibrates in tiny circles, so you can evenly sand across the grain, but it also means it can leave swirl marks. So keep it moving so you don't scratch the surface. Move at an even, smooth pace, about 1 inch per second. You can use a light pencil mark as a guide to be sure you've covered the surface evenly. Don't press down on it, just hold it firmly. You can gouge up the surface if you press too heavily. Don't let dust build up on the surface. It prevents the sander from doing its job. Keep the dust collector clean. This lets the sander work faster and keeps the air cleaner. Don't tilt it. Keep it level or you'll leave marks or you can round off edges. The finishing sander is easy to control. You can do it one-handed. That makes it a useful tool for even beginners and a good one to have for finer or finishing tasks like these. Light sanding to prep a surface for painting or when you're sanding in between coats of paint or finish. Ultra smooth finish sanding after using a belt sander or random orbital sander. Getting into inside corners. The square edges can get into corners that a belt sander or random orbital sander can't reach. Here are some more helpful tips. Always wear eye protection and hearing protection, as well as a dust mask. You'll also find specialty sanders that work similarly to orbital sanders. They can be great for sanding details like tight corners or contours. Unplug the tool before changing pads or emptying dust collectors so you don't hit the trigger accidentally. Check the trigger to be sure it's off before plugging it in, and never rest the sander on your project. For the tips, advice, and tools you need, visit your neighborhood Ace and find us online at acehardware.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.